So at the time that I first encountered art's decision-making process, I was the head of a nonprofit technology startup at Stanford University. We were serving the academic publishing community. And in that role, I not only led the staff, but I was a community organizer, sort of gathering my customers together to make decisions that affected them all. The staff organization that I led at Stanford was really the center, but it wasn't the whole of the organization. And what I found is that our arts process worked for community organizing pretty much the same way I had found earlier that it worked for church decision making. And that was fantastic. And when you think about what the process accomplishes, you can see why it would be valuable in both those contexts. At the very beginning of the process, it gets people aligned not only on what to do, some decision they have to make, but why. That is the hopes or the goals that they have for the result of their decision. And in nonprofit contexts, whether churches or other kinds of community-based organizations, getting people aligned is really important because often they start out just all over the place. Everybody has ideas, they come together, and then all those ideas sort of mix together. But the first thing to do is to get people to talk about hopes, goals. But I'd say the key thing for me that arts process did was it structured the process. And in a room full of equals, such as a community, that's no mean feat. The process would ensure that everyone has a voice. And practically speaking, in these days of Zoom meetings, having a structure for a process is more important than ever, since a free form sort of process, especially on Zoom, where you've got 15 different little signs up there of people all waiting to talk. If it's too free form, inevitably some people end up with more airtime than others, and some people feel excluded. They couldn't get a word in edgewise. So I think having a process that structures a conversation, almost politely structures the conversation, can be really valuable, so that everybody ends up having airtime. It pretty much ensures that no one person is dominating the discussion. There are no bullies and there are no wallflowers. And having a process where really smart people can't dominate a discussion, but really quiet people can participate is just honestly, it gets the best out of everybody. It also ensures, this process of arts, that there's no domination of the negative to the exclusion of the positive. And that's really, really valuable, because a lot of us, especially, I've come from an academic community, a lot of us are trained as critics to find the flaws in something. And that is almost the opposite of what you want to have happen when you're talking about hope, fulfillment, abundance. So it does let the negative come out. And in fact, it even starts with the negative, but it doesn't let it run forever. And it puts the negative and the positive into separate clusters. I think it also causes people to listen more than they talk. Not just to hold their tongue, but to be able to actually realize that they have time to listen to a colleague speak and think about their argument. And I found, because I know the order that I'll be speaking in, you can speak when your turn comes, rather than trying to get a word in and speaking over someone else, especially in Zoom. It's just a thing we all hate about Zoom, right? Is you have these collisions. So you have an order to the speaking sequence, and you get to think about what someone has said before the next person's thought replaces the last one. Maybe I just like things very organized, but I feel it's nice to have a space between everyone's thoughts. So key here is that at the end of this process, the community should feel that they all together created the outcome and made a decision. It would be, in my experience, it's less likely that a community will fracture. Even the people who didn't agree with the outcome still understand that they participated in the process, they were heard, and authentically heard, that not just that they spoke, but that they were heard. And I think that the health of the community its bound togetherness can be as important in some contexts as any one decision the community makes. Because as a community that's a whole, that's together, can go on to make other decisions in the future. But if it breaks, it can't make any more decisions.